Hi guys, welcome back for the third recording of tonight. Um, sorry, I'm in the same clothes. It's here. We'll showcase Clementine more. Um, I wanted to talk to you guys about today a quote that I've really been thinking about a lot in my life. Just because, reflecting on 2026, I feel like I've lived. I'm okay. To be transparent, I'm 23, right? I feel like I've lived so many lifetimes already. Like there's so much to experience about life, and maybe this is zooming out, looking at the painting too much, but like this year alone, it feels like nothing much has changed, but I've experienced so much, that I've learned so much. I've been to 4 countries in this early half of the year. I started a new job, moved to a new city, right? Started this. Um, I've met so many people, and it's just been, I don't know. It it feels like lifetimes, or maybe timelines, right? Um, but the quote is, it goes, it's by Julian Petrolis. Sorry if I'm butchering that. But there are weeks where decades happen, and there are decades where weeks happen. And he speaks about this, I think, in terms of, you know, financial success and having a catalyst. But I think in terms of like it applies to life, right? There's definitely weeks I've just sat in bed and it's felt like months. There's definitely years where, I don't meet my 2026 goals, or maybe my life turns in a different direction, right? I remember as a kid, like, shoot, I think my parents took me to some Christian camp because I didn't have anything to do over the week or the summer. I'm not religious. I went for the Chick-fil-A, but that okay, point is the point is that summer I was literally just at home watching TV, you know, bulking, just it felt like forever. It was one summer during my youth, and it just felt so long. And then now, I'm in a new city. Maybe because things are new. Maybe because I'm experiencing things, right? But like, I will also say I'd say, in a more privileged situation, the circumstances of my life, that I'm able to experience so many things and move to a city and fly to countries that most people never fly to until they're retired, right? But point is, there's gonna be times where it feels like nothing's happening. I think in those times you can think of yourself as a bamboo seed. I don't even know if they're called seeds, but as a bamboo seed. Because apparently, bamboo, now Google can correct me if I'm wrong. Bamboo, like, if when it's under the ground, like it takes a while for it to actually spurt up. But once it spurts up, it's very fast. Okay. You're like biting, like biding. in those moments, I think about it in terms of achieving anything in life is, you're getting your reps up. You're still finishing part of the house, right? Brick by brick. You might not see the results now, but it's coming, right? In that sense, you have to be consistent. But on the other hand, there's weeks where decades happen. That, those times where you pack up your week and it's full of events, of friends, of work, and it feels fulfilling, right? I encourage you to try and have more of those weeks. I mean, it's amazing, but you also need to slow down. Have that time to reflect, have that time to course correct if need be. Knowing, when to start and stop, knowing when to look at the details in the painting. Also, Derby Capital. Sorry. Oh shit. I'm gonna move on. Um. hmm. There are decades where weeks happen, and there are weeks where decades happen. You never know. You never know what's gonna happen. I think Andrew Tate had a video clip of him saying, like, you never know when you're gonna get lucky. And I think this has a bus. There's a series of essays by, what is it, Paul Graham. He has an essay called the bus ticket theory of genius. You can look it up online. But essentially, like, essentially, you never know when you're gonna get lucky, but that should mean that you need to always show up in your life. You have to show up every day, because you never know that maybe that one day that you show up, you might just get lucky. Maybe those decades happen in those weeks. He also believes in, not, I'm talking about Julian, but he believes in, like, everyone has 1 to 2 catalysts every year in their life. I heard that recently. I've been still trying to wrestle with it. I'd agree. I'd say not in their life, but in their year. Um, but I think the way you increase the amount of catalysts in your life is just to put yourself out there, right? You're only one away from anything you ever want. One person, one meeting, one phone call away from a completely different life. I truly believe that, and I've lived that myself, whether it's, professionally, or in just a mentality aspect. It helps you show up every day, even when you might not feel like it, you know. But you never know when those decades and the weeks happen. If there are decades where weeks happen, you're biting, you're bamboo. Write that down. Okay, like, I don't know. I think what kind of attracted me was, it made me think of times in my life where decades happened and weeks happened, because, sometimes I'm literally just sitting in my room and I'm like, I don't want to go anywhere. I'm so tired. I just went to the gym. I cleaned. I got groceries. Now my day's over. Like going about your day to day in the minutia of just surviving sometimes is, I think we can lose perspective there. Yeah. Anyways, this is a shorter clip because I'm tired and I should probably go to sleep. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you behind the screen, whoever you are. Um, I'm just trying to be more consistent because I never know. Maybe one of these episodes, maybe. But yeah, go out there, guys. Live your life. Um, make it happen. Make it fun. And be consistent. All right. Good night. Bye.